Bitcoin is creating this huge symmetrical triangle which is about to break out, and we could see a huge massive break for Bitcoin today. In this video I'm going to tell you exactly what we can expect for Bitcoin in the coming days, because there is a lot of interesting formations and charts to talk about. There's a lot of interesting news for the Bitcoin ETF and the Ethereum ETF. There's also the news coming out that Silk Road founder Russ Ulbricht is out of prison because of Trump. We have a lot of other news articles coming in which are very bullish for the crypto market in general. Later in the video I will also talk about the two altcoins Bittensor and Vechain. So you want to watch this video all the way to the end to don't miss anything. I would appreciate it if you like this video because it will help this channel a lot. With a link in the description under this video you can also join my free Telegram group. And with that have being said, let's dive right into the charts. So on the 1 hour time frame, Bitcoin is creating this huge symmetrical triangle, and on the top side we can see 2 times the touch points as resistance, and on the lower side we can see 2 touch points as support. We can see yesterday this resistance was a little bit too strong, so we're seeing a little bit of a rejection unfolding. So what could happen today for Bitcoin? We could of course see a rejection and that we're coming back to this lower side support, and from here this is the next make or break point for Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin is coming back to this level, we could either see a bounce from this level again, or we could see a break to the downside, and that of course will be a bearish move. And if we're going to see a break to the downside, I'm going to wait for a retest to retest the support as resistance, and from there you can enter the market in a short and maybe see a little bit of downside for Bitcoin in the coming days. But of course we want to see the bullish scenario play out, that Bitcoin is going to see a breakout to the top side and then a retest of the resistance to test it as support, and from this level you can enter the market in a long and then aim for higher targets. And if we zoom out a little bit, we can see that Bitcoin is in this huge uptrend. Now we are seeing a consolidation happening, so the chances are bigger that we are going to see a continuation of the bullish momentum to the top side. So a break to the top side is more likely, but keep in mind that you always have to wait for confirmation of the break, and that you have to wait for a retest of the previous resistance to turn it into support, and from there you can enter the market. And that is the same as to the downside. And let me know in the comments if you're going to trade this breakout formation for Bitcoin in the coming day. And Bitcoin is still ranging inside of this range. We can see on the lower side a lot of touch points as support coming in, and on the lowest and on the higher side we can see a lot of touch points as resistance, and these resistance areas are a little bit too strong for now. But yesterday we saw a beautiful bullish green candle, and Bitcoin tried to break it to the top side again. Now we're seeing a little bit of a rejection coming in again, but let's see if today could be the day that we're going to break it to the top side, and eventually we will have to wait for a retest of the resistance to turn it into support, and from there you can enter the market in the long, and then we aim for higher targets. And then of course we could also make a new all-time high, because the previous all-time high is around here, and yeah, this is a very short rise for Bitcoin to create a new all-time high. So if Bitcoin is going to create a bullish momentum and we are breaking this level to the top side, we might see a new all-time high, and this could all happen today of course, but keep in mind that this could all happen maybe later in the week or maybe next week. And of course there's also a bear scenario possible, and that means that we're going to see a rejection from this level and that we are going all the way back to this lower side support, and that will be around $92,000. But personally I think that Bitcoin is ready to break to the top side, and that we will see a huge bullish break and a bullish continuation of the price. And if we have a look at the Bitcoin ETF flow of yesterday, we can see a very bullish day happening. We saw an $802 million inflow into the Bitcoin ETF, and this was all because BlackRock was buying like crazy, and we can also see that Grayscale is buying. So this was having a very bullish effect overall on the price of Bitcoin. And currently we're coming closer to the $39 billion of total cumulative inflow. And if we have a look at the graph of the total cumulative inflow, we can see we're coming closer to the $40 billion. So we could already see the $40 billion happening this week. And this of course will be very bullish for the price of Bitcoin. And it will only pump up the price for Bitcoin even more. And if we then have a look at the Ethereum ETF, we can see that yesterday was also a bullish day for the Ethereum ETF. We saw a $74.4 million of inflow, and of course also BlackRock was buying like crazy yesterday. So in total we are seeing a $2.7 billion of total cumulative inflow for the Ethereum ETF, and let's see if the rest of the week can be bullish as well for the Ethereum ETF. And if we then look at the 4 hour time frame for Bitcoin, we can see a huge bullish move was happening last week, and we can also see that this huge resistance area was finally broken to the top side. We saw here 3 touch points as resistance, and finally we broke it to the top side. We retested this level as support, and from there you could have entered the market in the long, because we saw a confirmation of the breakout. Then we always have to wait for a retest of the previous resistance to turn it into support. From here you could have entered the market in the long and could have made an interesting gain of more than let's have a look. more than 7%, and especially when you are leverage trading, this could be a very significant trade to make. So congratulations if you took this trade together with me. And now we can see this top side of the formation was getting hit, and this was also confluent with the breakout target of this formation. So we are now seeing a little bit of a rejection coming into the market, so this is nothing to worry about. But of course, we want to see this next leg up for Bitcoin, because now we are coming from a downtrend and we are now looking for a new uptrend. So this is looking very bullish for Bitcoin. And looking at another chart for Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, we can see this huge horizontal level is coming into play. And yesterday we saw a beautiful bounce from this level to the top side. This was looking very bullish for Bitcoin. We can also see that Bitcoin is coming from a little bit of a downtrend, and now we're now shifting into an uptrend. So this could be the start of a huge impulse for Bitcoin, and this could all happen later in the week and maybe today. But of course we want to see this new all-time high getting reached, and this could all happen today. So this horizontal level was finally broken to the top side, and now we're seeing more top side continuation, which is very bullish for Bitcoin. So let me know in the comments, do you think we will hit a new all-time high for Bitcoin this week, or do you think we will see it later this month? And we also have a very interesting news article coming in, and that was that Silk Road founder Ross Ulbricht was seen out of prison following pardon from President Trump. And this is one of the founders of Silk Road. So he also owns a lot of Bitcoin. And now you can see that Trump is also very interested in crypto, because otherwise he wouldn't pardon him. And another very interesting news article was coming in, and that was that Senator Lummis and Eric Trump discussed creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve at the Capitol yesterday, according to Bloomberg's Stephen Dennis. And of course, this is very beautiful to see, because Eric Trump can be very bullish on Bitcoin, and this of course will be very bullish for the crypto market overall. Because if America is going to buy Bitcoin for their strategic reserve, a lot of other countries will follow, and this of course will be very interesting to see, because the floodgates of money will open to crypto, and a lot of new money will follow into the crypto space overall. So I think we are just at the beginning of the bull run, and we will see a huge run in the coming months. And in the beginning of this year, I was discussing my limit orders for Bitcoin, and every time we saw Bitcoin coming lower, I'm going to buy more Bitcoin, and especially at these white lines, my limit orders are set for Bitcoin. And every time we touched this white line, I was buying more Bitcoin, and I waited. If Bitcoin was going lower, then I would have bought more Bitcoin at this place. But we saw a very beautiful bounce from this level, and I bought a lot of times. I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times Bitcoin at this place. And now from this level, I'm already up for almost 15%. So this is an insane trade, of course. And this was just a spot buy for the long term. So this is how you make money in the crypto. Just buy when Bitcoin is going lower and lower and lower. And when we go up, you are going to make significant gains, just like we are doing right now. And of course, at some point I will sell my Bitcoin, but I will tell about that later in my coming videos in the future. And also we have a pro-Bitcoin SEC Commissioner, Hester Peirce, to lead new task force to create a regulatory framework for crypto assets. And of course this is insane to see, because the SEC is now having a commissioner that is pro-Bitcoin, and they're looking for a regulatory framework to make crypto a little bit more regulatory. So this is only having a very bullish effect on the market of crypto, because the market of crypto is now maturing, and this is only good to see. And we also have another very interesting news article coming in, and Coinbase CEO tells the World Economic Forum in Davos that Bitcoin is a better form of money than gold. For store of value, it's important governments hold Bitcoin over time. So let's see if governments are going to hold Bitcoin over time. And of course, they need Bitcoin to survive in the future, I think. So this could also have a very bullish effect on the price of Bitcoin, of course, in the coming months. And the first altcoin I want to have a look at is Vechain. We can see Vechain in the last months was in this huge symmetrical triangle. We finally broke out to the top side, and then we saw a huge run of more than 500% for Vechain. So this was insane, of course. And we can now also see that this huge horizontal level is coming into play, because it is now acting as resistance. And at this level, we are seeing a lot of price interactions happening in the past, just like we saw here on the chart. So for now, it looks like Vechain is seeing a little bit of a rejection already for today. But of course, we could also see a break to the top side. And this could also be very bullish for Vechain in the coming days. Because if we zoom in a little bit on the daily time frame, we can see that Vechain created a regional top. Then we saw a little bit of a bearish trend unfolding, but now we are seeing a shift of the trend because we are creating a higher high and we're also creating a higher low. So this could indicate that Vechain is going to see another higher high and maybe another higher low, and this could be the next scenario for Vechain if we're going to see a bullish scenario unfold. But of course there's also a bearish scenario, and we're now seeing a retest of this previous resistance. We are seeing a little bit of a rejection, so we could also see lower levels. But as I said, Vechain is now shifting from a downtrend into an uptrend. So if Vechain tries to break this level to the top side and comes back to the retest this resistance as support, I'm going to enter the market for Vechain here, and then I'm going to enter the market and wait for higher prices, because I think Vechain is a very strong project. And yesterday it was also made public that they're going to have 2 hard forks in 2025. So let me know in the comments if you still hold Vechain in your portfolio, and what is your price prediction for Vechain in 2025. And the next interesting altcoin I want to have a look is a Bittensor Tau. We can see that Tau is respecting these horizontal lines perfectly, and we are coming to this level again. And at this green box of accumulation, I'm buying more Tau, and I also bought at its previous horizontal level, and I also bought at this horizontal level for Bittensor. So if we're coming lower, I'm going to buy more because my buy orders are ready for Bittensor, and I think this project is a very good project for the long term, and especially it is an AI project. And also President Trump is investing 500 billion into AI, so this could also have a very bullish effect on the AI tokens. So Bittensor is now coming to this huge support level, and of course we want to see a bounce from this level to create a little bit of a bullish momentum, because we're now in this huge downtrend. And if we have a look at another interesting chart for Bittensor Tau on the daily time frame, we can see this huge triangle is unfolding, and this descending triangle has a lot of touch points on the top side as resistance, and also on the lower side we can see this horizontal support coming into play. And eventually this price of Bittensor Tau is getting squeezed into an apex, so eventually we will see a huge breakout to either the top side or of course the downside. But I think that Bittensor Tau is going to break to the top side, because the chances are higher, because we are still in a huge uptrend, and after a bit of a huge uptrend we are now seeing just a consolidation of the price to the downside. And after this consolidation we could probably see a huge breakout, but if you want to trade this breakout you have to wait for a confirmation of the break. Then I'm going to wait for a retest of the resistance to turn it into support, and then we are going to create more topside, and then the topside of the formation will be confluent with the breakout target, and that will be above the $728. So this could be a significant trade to make for Bittensor. And if we're going to see this level happening and we're going to see a breakout to the top side, we could see a trade for almost 66%. So this is insane, of course. And let me know in the comments if you're going to trade this Tau formation, and what you think about this Tau formation. Are we going to break to the top side, or are we going to see a bearish break to the downside? So again, please like the video if you think it was useful, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.